Guys, let's jump into this. Our first game of this day is going to be between GuMiho and uThermal. Best of 3 TvT. Let's see who our first semi-finalist, our first player in the money, is going to be. We have to the bottom left-hand side of the map our blue Terran player. It is going to be GuMiho. And to the other right-hand side of the map, our red Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is uThermal. So, best of 3 TvT, winner moves through to the semi-finals, loser unfortunately leaves with nothing. In the semi-finals, round of 4, I actually have no idea how much prize money you take home because I didn't do my pre-tournament research and remember the prizing of my own event, which is typical. Let me actually just grab this for you guys so I can talk about it a little bit. Where's the Christmas Invitational for it? There we go. $35 for 3rd/4th place. That is the prize. And 80 OSC points. Now, OSC points are going to be a big talking point today, actually, because it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those things where it's the kind of one of the last big events of the OSC season. There's this event to finish up today. Tonight we have the SC2, the SC2 Online Community Open, and tomorrow we have the OSC Masters Cup. And those are the last OSC events of the year, so there's a lot of OSC points to be won. It's going to be really, really, really important to kind of get some of those OSC points if you want to make it into the top 50. I'm actually going to be looking through the positions on the top 50 throughout the day and trying to tell you guys who exactly is where and how many points they need to make it to the top 50 to qualify for the grand finals at the end of the year, or in January. It's actually going to be played out January 2nd through 10th. Or 2nd through 8th/9th, I think. Either way, we'll be casting that here on the channel. So look forward to that in January. It'll be part of the birthday stream as well. We're going to be streaming on my birthday. How about that? I've never streamed on my birthday before. This year we will. How crazy. How crazy is that? Anyways, early on here, first Reaper's coming out, Cyclone's on the way as well from both, so pretty standard stuff so far, both players doing the exact same thing at this point. Oh, Lib did it. Lib's found a joke I missed. GuMiho, ho ho ho. Oh, those Christmas puns are going to be non-stop today, I can tell. It's going to be just one of those streams where it never ends. It just keeps going and going and going. Cyclone popping out with these two Reapers. Moving forwards, a grenade goes down from the Reapers here from GuMiho to try and help push back, and now we're going to see another grenade going down. Actually, again, it's GuMiho who continues to get the better connections on pretty much everything so far. Oh, uThermal just turn it away, though. Doesn't lose any units, which is obviously one of the more important things about this, as this Cyclone is going to get away, and yeah, it's going to get away indeed. Now, GuMiho is actually going to make a Raven off of his Tech Lab starport, whereas uThermal is indeed going to go for this Cloak Banshee play, so we're going to be seeing this Cloak Banshee on the way up. We're going to see in this factory building up a Tech Lab here as well, and a couple of SCVs moving in, starting to repair up this this Cyclone. Cyclone getting a little bit of a repair here. And we're going to be seeing the Cyclone from GuMiho also being repaired. So both players with similar intentions so far. And GuMiho just a little bit faster on that natural expansion. In fact, a lot faster on that natural expansion. It's going to finish building here soon. And uThermal, he's nowhere close to beginning the natural expansion. So that is a very interesting sort of difference between the players right now. As we're going to be seeing the two Reapers and the Cyclone coming into the right-hand side. The Raven's actually moving out onto the map from GuMiho. So this is not brilliant for him, because he's going to be left at home without the detection he really needs to kind of deal with it. So he's actually going to have to scan despite having made the Raven. So that's a little bit of a shame here early on, as we're going to be seeing a few units still gathering to the right-hand side from uThermal, seeing what he can do. Single Hellion of GuMiho scouting as well. And these units actually going to come forwards, and well, it goes okay for both players here. It doesn't really go kind of badly for either, as we're going to be seeing uThermal comes in, sieges, cloaks up, and that's exactly what we're expecting him to do, and he's actually getting some pretty decent damage done. 7, now 8 workers killed. Some really good damage done here already. Now 9 workers killed, I guess, in a moment, and that will be about it. 9 workers killed done. His Cyclone actually won out the fight over here as well, so he comes forward, tries to get a bit more damage done, kill a Hellion or something. Oh, he actually does get that Hellion kill, so that's a really good little start here. And I was going to be seeing the Cyclone just going to begin backing away. And uThermal has a second Banshee set up, ready to go. Damage done early is good, and he is going into his own CC now as well. 6 workers behind, 6 workers ahead. CC just on the way up, so is missing out on a meal. I mean, if you look at the income tab, you can see it's, you know, a little bit GuMiho favored still because of the mules dropping down, I guess. But apart from that, you know, uThermal should be able to kind of even up / come out of this with a worker lead, especially with one Banshee still to play with. Just has to find a way through this Viking Raven, and I like it for now, just sitting back, waiting, knowing there's a Viking Raven on the map. There's no rush to move in here. There's no rush to say, right, let's go, let's attack down this left side and see where we end up, you know. Just take a moment, chill out, and take this as it comes, you know. Wait until we drag that Raven Viking. You know, again, just in general, like, make the smarter moves here. Don't do anything crazy stupid that you don't have to do. You're going to see a Cyclone coming around the top side, and just going to be looping around here. We're going to be seeing some Marines, a tank, a Cyclone, moving down the right as well. uThermal going to get ready to go for a bit of a push. I wonder if he tries to siege up this position here. Even just kind of picking off these couple of depots, denying a little bit of mining time, could be really, really frustrating for GuMiho. As this Banshee is starting to move forwards here. Cyclone actually comes in and drops down a couple of workers. As here we go, Raven out of position, and so 2 workers going down. uThermal repaying the favor of what that Cyclone just did, and he begins to back away. In the end, should have just gone for a couple of extra kills as this tank gets pushed away as well. uThermal is unsuccessful in this attack overall. And, well, he's just going to have to back off with this. Worker count going to come out fairly even for both players. And the army supplies are starting to tilt a little bit into GuMiho's favor here. So starting to just slightly go in that sort of direction as we see these units from GuMiho up the left-hand side of the map. And uThermal coming up the right-hand side as well, coming all the way back in towards this natural expansion. Cyclone, a few Marines, a couple of tanks. And a lot of these Vikings in the Raven continue to go up the left-hand side as well. So a lot of these units continue to go up the left. And you'll see a couple of SCVs coming too. I wonder if that's intentional. I think it must be, because what else could he be hoping for? uThermal going to siege up his own tanks right now. His lack of anti-air is kind of his real issue, I suppose. He's got a Raven, but you know, where are his own, where's his Vikings? Well, non-existent. He actually just didn't make any Vikings. I don't really know why. He hasn't made, I guess because he just kept making Banshees for a while. Still isn't using that starport on the reactor though. As I like this, a little bit of a counterattack, immediately going to move across the map, so this is quite cute. He says, well, you know what, I'm holding this position, you're not really killing too much of mine right now, and I'm just going to sit here and just sort of, you know, wait. We're going to see a couple of auto turrets though. They're going to be very frustrating. In fact, these tanks are in a lot of trouble right now. Has to repair this one up, but it goes down. Wow, the auto turret's breaking here. We're going to be seeing uThermal continue to advance forwards with more units. The thing is, GuMiho doesn't have much over here at all either, so his tank's going to go down pretty quickly as well. And we're going to enter a very weird kind of base trade sort of situation right now in the next few moments. Vikings begin to land already as the turret has already dealt with the first siege tank. And there's Stim for uThermal coming down. And he has a lot more Marines, obviously, here from GuMiho. He's... does he have Stim? He does, but he just doesn't have any Marines. So his natural CC goes down, as will uThermal's very soon. It's just a weird situation because, honestly, you look at this and I guess it's the Liberators that are going to be an issue on the high ground, but he gets rid of those and he still has Marines left over. So what a weird base trade we enter here, but I think uThermal has the upper hand. An extra auto turret coming down as well. SCVs continue to drop from GuMiho. uThermal has a sieged up tank up here, and I mean, again, there's not that much from GuMiho. Like, the 2 tanks are powerful, but they just don't do a lot quickly. And that's his real issue right now as uThermal continues to clean his way through these tech labs. These buildings continue to take quite a bit of damage as well, and I think uThermal is probably going to end up taking game number 1 here. The Marines able to stim, protect against this Viking Raven combo, and that's it. uThermal takes the first game, and that is going to be GG, what Santa likes to say. It's not going to work. There we go. Yes, special get will be. As we jump on into the bottom right-hand side of the map, our red Terran player, it is GuMiho. Down 1 game in this best of 3 quarterfinal match. And down to the bottom left, our blue Terran player is uThermal. Obviously the other option, I mean, it's tough, right? Because we have to like find a good balance of, just to kind of give you guys, I guess, a little bit of an insight into the into how events work, I guess. You know, as a tournament organizer, the more you can stream, the more games you get of your investment, the better, obviously. Which is why you'll generally see group stages, and it's why we ran round robin groups to get 6 best of 3s out of every group. But, you know, we could do this, or we could do like, you know, we invested like $200 plus 100 on Matcherino, 100 donations. So that's pretty easy to get. It's much better than running, I think, 4 online cups. Of course, then at the same time, though, this is much more investment for the players than just competing in a 1-day cup. So you have to find enough money to be able to kind of convince the players to play for the amount you want them to play, you know, for the amount of time that you want them to invest. So You know, obviously we could have done round of 8 one day and round of 4 and finals another day and had like best of 5s all the way through. But then the players are probably going to be like, well, 3 days to kind of win something. Like, nah, that's too much. That's too much of a commitment. Whereas 2 days is still a bit more of a commitment than obviously just an online cup, but it's not as bad, especially if you only have to play 3 best of 3s in one day. And then the other day is just, you know, you can show up and if you win your first match, you're in the money at least already. And if you lose your first match, then, you know, oh, that sucks, but you're out, you know. You don't have to waste any more time waiting around for nothing. So, you know, a lot of different kind of ways to look at it. So from our point of view, like, this was kind of this event we're running here. The initial prize pool we had of $300 was like the bare minimum, more or less, to kind of run an event which goes over more than one day, I think. I think to run an event that goes over more than one day, you really do need to kind of invest into kind of that sort of money. So just a little bit of an insight for you guys. Obviously, a lot of you guys are awesome and have been donating as well, and you of course can. You of course can. You of course can. Sorry, I'm losing it. You of course can still donate if you type !Christmas in the chat. You can still win something. You can still donate and add to the prize pool. If we hit $500, I'm apparently going to be introducing players through Christmas songs. So, I mean, that could be interesting. I've got no idea how I'm going to do that because I didn't actually do any plans for that like I originally intended. So that could be interesting. But anyways, this game's ongoing. I've talked a little bit too much. 3 minutes of nothingness, really. As you see, Reaper Hellion coming in from GuMiho. And uThermal, well, he is going to find his first Reaper. He's going to get a kill on it. If he gets the kill on the first Reaper, it's nice because it just shuts down so much of the applied pressure, which can continue to come out of GuMiho here. He's got one more Reaper moving forwards, and he needs to be careful for Marines from uThermal, able to come forwards here and push this back. And the Cyclone coming forwards as well. Cyclones will do a lot of damage here, although Marines get some good damage onto it initially. He stutter steps forwards, grenades it away as well. Nice, he kills off the Cyclone, and uThermal will continue to defend really well. He's continuing to chase down this Reaper of his opponent too to the north side. And he might actually pick up a kill on that. As we're going to see another Reaper and a Hellion moving across the map here. One Reaper in towards the mineral line. uThermal chases up top, picks up that kill. Hellion in the natural, Reaper in the main. uThermal still has to deal with this, but I mean, for the most part, he's just getting rid of so many units. That said, he has lost a few SCVs, I suppose. 4 workers going down. He's losing a little bit of mining time on the natural. Lost a mule. Picks off another Hellion though, and again, all of these kills, you know, they really do add up. This Reaper does begin to get away. And uThermal, can he cut it off with this Reaper? Probably not. I think he's just a little bit too far behind. Yeah, heading a bit too far, just straight south rather than southeast. uThermal with a fast impact, yeah, he did not go into the early kind of factory starport sort of setup, which is exactly what GuMiho has been heading towards. He went into this double rack-based opening, so a lot of pressure early. He's going to see Liberate targeting down some workers once again. Such an interesting scenario where uThermal continues to take a lot of worker damage. He's 10 workers down. He still has the CC advantage on his natural expansion, but he's also going to have a much faster like stim drop. Like, it's going to be really interesting because GuMiho has lost a lot of units early, and so uThermal, with this double drop, could genuinely do quite a lot of damage. He could really do quite a lot of damage, so I'm really interested in this. This could be very interesting. This is the Banshee, so he knows that this is going to be something he has to deal with soon. And he'll immediately start to build a turret in his mineral line. That means he doesn't have to worry too much about that, and he can just focus on getting across this map and cleaning up. He might even be able to intercept this Banshee with the Marine drop, which means that he would just shut this down instantly. Okay, he's going to go straight to the right, so he's just going to miss this Banshee, which is unfortunate, but at the same time it means his drop is not scouted here. I mean, GuMiho should know what's going on. He's seen the second racks, but I mean, does he have any units? He's got a Cyclone out. He's got a tank about to pop, but this tank can't be everywhere, and that's the problem with this drop-based play. It's going to be able to bypass the sort of annoying positions that the tank will, you know, to bypass the kind of defensive positions of the tank and so on. So here we go, Marines begin to load in the corner of the base, and well, GuMiho, he's still 15 workers ahead, but I actually just do not see a way in which he defends this sim drop. Like, he has no units on the map nearby, like a Banshee, a tank, a Cyclone. Against Stim Marines, none of this is really, I think, going to do enough. uThermal has to pull back a little bit. He's killed 8 workers so far. Could definitely do a few more pickup kills here. And Tank does manage to find a shot onto the Marines. And it's going to sit behind the mineral line though. Forces the tank to move once again. The Banshee across the map has been forced to come back home. Still alive though, so still potential for further damage. And uThermal, and he comes out of the 6 workers behind, but he's still got these medevacs. He's about to get combat shield, and his aggressive position just improves in this game. Going low towards the front, and I mean, there's a bunker here. It's going to be hard for him to really push through this, even with combat shields advantage. So, just going to lift up again and I guess keep on dropping. 6 workers down, still behind in income quite significantly. I thought he would do a bit more of that drop. And I feel as though maybe he could have done if he actually had a... maybe he didn't have a scan, but if he had a scan, I think he did have a scan. He scanned forwards, kicked off the Banshee. Feels like he could have done so much more. Dropping once again, just trying to deny mining time, if not anything else. Or if not more. And we've seen these couple of medivacs do move away now, over to the left-hand side a little bit here. So, a couple of medivacs going to move away. These 2 medivacs of uThermal loading on up once again. Going to start heading over to the right-hand side. As uThermal just going to be having 4 medivacs in total now. Can he just drop on in towards this main bit? Like, is that a possibility? Just, like, doom drop in? You know, on top of the tank, there's only 2 Marines here. Banshees do okay damage, but not amazing damage. Or does he just stim up the front, where there's a lot of defense focused in the main? That's the problem, you know. How does GuMiho know where the best place to be is? How does he know where to reposition those tanks? He's about to get a 3rd tank out, which will help massively in this. uThermal still not showing us where exactly he wants to engage. Still just moving around and skirting around the edges of the north side of the natural expansion. Scan on towards his opponent's natural. Here we go. Going to start stimming forwards. And, well, this tank will take a lot of damage. Banshees will come in to help out the tank. Gets repaired, though, and actually, the repair will be good for now. And as these medivacs look as though they will get away, so uThermal doesn't find anything there. Now 20 workers down. His SCV production has just been, I would like to say, lacking, I guess, because, I mean, you look at it. I mean, he's lost 10 workers. But is he just not making SCVs or what? Like, he must be, there must be some reason he's not kind of catching up at all in work count, and that GuMiho's getting further and further ahead, despite uThermal being the player out on the map and trying to get further damage done. These medivacs moving down to the south side from uThermal. 2 Liberators coming across the map as well. It's an interesting one, the 2 Liberators, because he does have a... It's tough because there is a Viking, right? But there's not too many Vikings or anything. So, I mean, the Liberator could be pretty effective here if he gets into the right position at the right time. I mean, the Viking's to the south, and he knows that, so... Well, let's see, this Viking still moving around. I guess uThermal just boosts in towards the main. There's siege tank here. He sees where it's sieged, so he knows he can get behind the mineral line. One of these medivacs is very low, but does not go down just yet. Units still on in from GuMiho. He does not have combat shields here, though. uThermal has to pull away. He's got more units setting up towards the front. Liver is actually sieged up on the turret. That's not ideal. uThermal is not going to be getting enough done at all. GG, and we are tied up 1 game apiece at this. More than gracious to have you add that and to be able to give the players here, and all the money does go to the players that you donate, just to give the players a little bit more to play for today, obviously. To the south side, our blue Terran player is GuMiho, who's about to be under attack here fairly swiftly. As we have to the top side, our red Terran player, it is uThermal. So Reaper just on the way up, and we've seen a 2nd Rax and 3rd Rax as well, and I mean this is again just super aggressive from uThermal here to try and win game number 3. Double gas opening from GuMiho. And we're just going to be seeing the factory just on the way up here as well. So factory loading on, setting on up, and again just seeing how this goes. A couple of Reapers so far. I mean, waiting for the action to begin. And it is going to be pretty action-packed here for game 3 of this series. So let's see what happens. As our Reaper is going to get set up, going to get ready to start moving forward. There's one of them popping out, a second one going to be popping out here shortly as well. And here we go, popping up into the main base. This Reaper comes in, and well, damage starting to be done. If you can delay this factory build, of course, that's great. But the Reaper comes out for GuMiho. Will defend for now. Second Reaper needed here to help out. Is actually the SCV chasing that Reaper away. Gets a shot or 2 off, which helps. And uThermal, well, he's just happy for that factory to finish as he just starts to target down some workers instead. 2 Reapers now, and this becomes a little bit more difficult for GuMiho, pulling SCVs in once again. First grenade doesn't really connect on anything. uThermal's usually very good with those grenades. It's surprising to see him not really connect anything with those. Oh my god, that Reaper is so low. uThermal's micro keeps it alive for now, though. You can hop back up to this high ground and see what more you can do. Grenades, popping an SCV or so, coming up to this ramp once again. He's actually going to get a Reaper kill there, and still hasn't lost anything of his own. Cyclone about to pop out, though, and is the Cyclone just a straight up counter to this? Well, I have to imagine that it somewhat is. Let's see. I mean, I'm not really too sure how it works out exactly, because I haven't really seen this build too often since the Cyclones got their upgrade, or since they got buffed a little bit, right? So I'm not 100% sure myself I feel as though obviously the Cyclone is very good, but there's also this issue that the Reapers can do a lot if there's enough of them, and there is definitely a lot of Reapers right now. So here we go, going to start going up this ramp. SCV given the high ground vision is actually a pretty big deal. See more grenades going down. The Cyclone's just holding so nicely though. uThermal's beginning to even up the work count, but that's about all he's doing. Pops up to this high ground. Hellion shot is good. The grenades go down again. Has to be careful. Gets a shot off onto the depot. That's not what he wants. Anything but that, really. As he picks off the Cyclone, he's going to be... Sorry, he picks off the Hellion. The Cyclone's getting lower and lower. Another Hellion pops out. He's going to get the Cyclone kill, which is a big part of continuing on here. He's lost a lot of Reapers, though, but still making 3 Reapers at a time. uThermal starting to drone up a little bit as well. As he... I mean, this is such a weird situation. You're going to have a Marine and a Hellion. That'll be a second Hellion also. Oh, wow. This is really, really tough to call. Like, how do you even kind of begin to think what this is going to be? You see the Reapers spreading out to be able to kind of come in here now. And the SCV is just having to back away again. Another Cyclone starting to build from GuMiho as uThermal really still just spending everything on these Reapers. The Cyclone, I think he just knows now. He's got the couple Hellions out, and the way this has worked is basically the Cyclone traded well enough against the Reapers, which has allowed him to get a couple more units out, which haven't died, and now he's got a stable number of units. He can afford to build a Cyclone. So I think that's more or less how this has gone. As here we go up, there's Ram going to try and get rid of these Hellions. It's a nice grenade. It's a nice second grenade as well, and I mean the Hellions are going down, but there's just no follow-up to it. And again, another Cyclone out here. How do you ever try and get rid of that? So you see these Marines just sat up in the main base, and we're seeing a few more of these Reapers just setting up and seeing what's going to be happening. I mean, it's so tough though. uThermal going to try and push up here. He was 1-0 up in this series, but right now looking as though this is a defense from GuMiho. A defense which will take him through to the semi-finals of today's WardiTV Christmas Invitational. Reaper's going to pop up here to the side. Double Cyclone though. Like, the damage output is just going to be absolutely insane. He's going to have to use this grenade so well here to kind of just keep these units back and just try and pick off SCVs. That's exactly what he's doing. He's doing a pretty good job of it so far, and he's slowly picking away at this. I mean, to be fair, this is as best as it could be going for uThermal. Like, he's really trying to make this work. He's really giving it everything, and, you know, it's good micro. It's very good micro. Single Reaper that's damaged goes to the back. He's really utilizing the building position of his opponent here to his opponent's disadvantage, unfortunately. And here we go, pushing forwards. One Cyclone goes down. Grenades again. Second Cyclone may fall here. And once again, we are Cycloneless for GuMiho. I did not think this was going to happen. I really thought this was GuMiho's on the bag with the second Cyclone out, but the Reaper micro was so sick here. uThermal's going to turn this around completely. Every SCV falls. What on earth was that? That was ridiculous. uThermal is so